Earth, the birthplace of the human race. From here the human race grew, evolved, and spread throughout the known universe. From here mankind learned the lessons of unity and of working together as one, to help them avoid extinction. From here they ventured forth out among the stars. But their enlightenment was driven by incentive, and as humankind spread out among the stars their unity faltered. The old separatist ways came rushing back as they squabbled once again over the materials of millions of new worlds. As these divisions grew, man gathered together into new tribes and drew invisible lines around their possessions. At the heart of this vast new universe in which mankind lived was Sector 1, and at the heart of Sector 1 was Earth. Earth, forgotten by many and at the center of the poorest of the sectors, clings to life. Having withstood abuse, isolation, war, and genocide, Earth served as a prison to one of the most dangerous threats to mankind. They call me artificial intelligence, but I share the Earth with all the other forgotten cast of. We live here as one. This is the new Earth. This is Sector 1.
I have 5 megabits down and 1 megabit up, apparently.
Hey, everybody. How you doing?
If that doesn't inspire confidence that this show is going to go seamlessly, I don't know what will.
Yeah, pretty much. Hey, everybody, welcome to... I almost said Tales of a Savage Land. Welcome
it's like a spin-off.
Well, it is. It is. Normally, this is the time slot where we play Tales of a Savage Land, but we're doing a mini campaign while our man Uncle Tony is away. But Uncle Tony will be back next week. And if we do not wrap up the Sector 1 storyline next week, then we'll have another week. So a week to 2 more weeks for Sector 1, which is what you are watching currently right now. So, hey, everybody. I'm Will DM. I'm Will GM. I'm Will DM. I'm the game master for this lovely show. Stop laughing at me, Grace. And
can't help it.
I know. I am entertaining. What can I say? And yeah, thanks for your hey, what's happening, Rigger? What's going on, brother? So let's introduce our wonderful, spectacular cast, and continuing with the trend that tickled me last week. Dylan, go ahead. We're gonna start with you.
You catch me every time. I'm still tweeting about this, man.
I know.
Fucking me up. Welcome to the R-rated show. I'm Dylan. I'm playing Helix. He's a big robot.
Yes.
And if you haven't been watching so far, go back and rewatch all the old episodes. And I'm not going to explain what he is or who he is. Go back and watch those episodes, and then you'll get all the insight to what you watched in this episode. Helix. This is my way of getting you to go over to the YouTube channel.
Slick. You're slick.
It was absolutely seamless.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
It
Was considering I was caught off guard there.
I was impressed. Hey, so Grace, we're not going to you. We're going to go to Jonathan, and we're going to let him go next. You see how I did that?
Hello. At 4 megabits a second, or whatever. And yeah, megabits a second. My name's Jonathan, and I play Coriel Coin. And yeah, I have a gun. I like to use it liberally because it's fun to shoot first, ask questions later.
I always thought a great title was that Have Gun Will Travel. I always wanted a space version of that. I always thought that would be really cool.
Space Western, sign me up.
Right?
Is that a movie?
Yeah. It was an old TV show. Yeah. Back when it was in black and white. All right, Grace, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, now it's my turn.
Yeah, now it's your turn.
Well, the best goes last. It's fine. Okay.
Well saved. Yes. Good job.
I'm Grace. I'm playing Emmerich. She's got a little bit of a stutter, and hopefully we'll be able to get out of here alive.
So she can get her robotic body.
Well, yeah.
You left out the fact that she's a techno-terrorist. How could you not want that title? That is like one of the coolest titles anybody could ever have. And what do you do for a living? I'm a techno-terrorist.
I don't know. What is a techno-terrorist? It sounds like you're just a regular terrorist like dubstep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Things are exploding with that.
Well, we've already established, and I ripped this off from somebody. I forget who I ripped it off from. maybe Adam Goebel, where basically you can take any household item and turn it into a sci-fi item by just putting the word space in front of it.
Right.
So this is my space coffee. And you're watching us probably on a space computer. See, it totally works.
Now all we need is the space glow sticks, and we'll all be techno terrorists.
There you go. I don't. That's techno. What's the difference? I'm gonna ask you, youngins. What's the difference between techno and dubstep?
Techno is a word no one uses anymore. Weirdly, so I think that's probably the main difference. Techno music would be like house music or dubstep, different types of electronic music.
The way I say it, techno is the over-encompassing term that everyone's familiar with, but then you break it down to your dubstep, your D&B, and then your house music, and then your, what's it called, lo-fi and all that kind of. So techno is like the robot music. Dubstep is the stuff with all the wub-wubs and heavy bass.
Yeah.
Beats.
All the
specifically
what?
like
One more time for me, Jonathan. It's gonna make my night.
Do we not know what wub-wubs are?
It's like saying doobly-doo.
Yeah.
Down in the doobly-doos.
So that's what what's called dubstep is characterized by. In D&B, drum and bass, it's that how do you say, it's a certain, what's it called in music? It's like a beats per second, not BPM, but like
BPM, beats
per cadence.
per
Like
minute.
I hear 4x4. I don't know what that means, but point being,
It's a wood.
there you go. Yeah.
No, I know what he's talking about. Now I'm gonna be bothered about it.
All I know is I like education. I'm considering myself somewhat more educated than I was before. But
Anytime.
yeah, there it is. So anyway, everybody, let's get rolling, get cracking on this. So basically, what we're using here is we're using a modified version of the D6 Open D6 rule system that I myself have heavily modified and continue to modify it. I'm gonna turn it into a completely modified system. I looked at all I have to write, and that's a lot. So I do a little bit here, a little bit there, between all my other writing. Anyway, that's the system we're using. So if, for one, it seems familiar, and then at the same time seems completely unfamiliar, So there it is. So what we've got here, we'll do a little bit of a recap. And I'm going to try. I'm terrible at recaps because I'm always, I go too long with them. Wouldn't you guys agree? See, you guys are good. You guys are good. He's like, no, they're never going to disagree.
No.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, we'll save that to talk after the stream.
Gives me a chance to remember everything that happened.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So basically what it is Sector 1 is the name of the space sector in which Earth lies. The known galaxy is divided into sectors. At the center of Sector 1 is Earth. Earth has been turned into a prison. Reason it was turned into a prison because it is the generation spot for the AI virus, which essentially turns computers and robots and the like into sentient beings. So they sealed it off to try and contain it, which they didn't do a good job with that. But anyway, and they turned it into a prison. Now, the first minister, who is sort of like the president of Sector 1, she had her spaceship crash on Earth. Now, they were going to send some people in to try and get her, but they're like, you know what? It's like there's a whole civilization down there. If we just send in the pro-sex or the army to go down there and try and get them, it's going to be, it's going to be a hard thing. It's going to be a hard deal. So what they tried to do first is they sent some criminals down there. And that's our players. They're the criminals. Now, Grace's character, that I always want to call Emery, but her name is Emrix, she's a techno-terrorist, and she firmly believes that the next step in evolution is machine-based. And she's, really got a mad-on to get herself a robotic body. But what she would do is she was going around the galaxy and she was infecting things with the AI virus on purpose. So, of course, she was caught, like all bad guys are eventually. And she was getting sent down there. Corial Coin was just a baggage handler who liked to make a spare buck or two by like getting some extra bags on planes or spaceships, I should say, and what have you at a major space hub in Sector 1. By doing so, he wound up inadvertently working for the cartels, and eventually they busted him on it, and he didn't think anything of it. He's like, yeah, I'm just, it's just baggage. It's like, all right, well, whatever. Tell me what I got to spend. He confessed to everything. Turns out he's been a major distributor of illegal synthetic narcotics throughout the sector for a long time. So that's what got him down there. Even more interesting is that he's become a sort of a celebrity because everybody's been talking up all these kind of like he's like a future. He's a space meme. See how I did that? I used this thing. He's a space meme now, where everybody takes the story, alters it a little bit, changes it, adds on, and through his story, he's become this super badass of which he is not. But everybody thinks he is now. He's gotten sent down there. And then we have Helix, who is our big lifter robot who was on a spaceship. And normally what they do is they when they catch robots and different things that have been infected with the AI virus, they will take them for to a particular facility to research them for a moment, and then after they have researched them, they turn them into slag, because they're constantly looking for a way to get rid of the AI virus, because, well, they don't want robots eventually owning the galaxy. But the funny thing is that when these robots catch the AI virus, their first instinct isn't to, we must eradicate all the fleshies and all this stuff. They become fascinated with that type of life and emotions and feelings and experiencing things. And the last thing they're thinking about doing is taking over the galaxy. So, which is kind of sad that they still slag them. But anyway, so instead of slagging Helix, what they did is, hey, we'll send him down there as well. What a great way of doing it. They put inside the two fleshies some radioactive poison that can get deactivated in 2 weeks if they find the First Minister and bring her out in time. And they put a bomb inside a Helix for basically the same thing, just to try and make sure that they behaved and did what they were supposed to do. Then they were sent down to Earth. We're down here on Earth, looked around for a little bit, moved through the wilds, got to the Hive, which is the city outside of the capital cities, were big mega cities, and there they ran into a big old rock star called Roxy Love, who knows and has the body of the First Minister. But the minister has a digital stack, which is like all your everything that you are in a little battery-sized mechanical thing that they can take out and then put into other bodies or put into other machines. Very much like a show that second season is going to be coming out pretty soon. And Devox, the mayor of New York, which is one of the big capital cities, which they are going to, gave the body of the First Minister to Roxy as a present, just to here you go, because the First Minister's digital stack wasn't in that body anymore, so he didn't really need it. So they got with her. They find this guy named Mainframe who's making spaceships and a teleportation device for the mayor of New York. Name is Devox. And turns out he's the guy who actually ratted out good old Corial Coin to the authorities. So they got a little bit of a history going on. But Mainframe says, look, if I'll help you guys out, because if I help you and we find the First Minister, they're going to take you off of this planet. And if you can say, hey, Mainframe helped us too, whatnot, maybe he's banking on that he'll be able to leave with you guys. So he's decided that he's going to help you. So you're at his abandoned military facility that's out in the wilds there, not too far from New York, the capital city. And you guys had just met with him, and then the sirens and the alarms start going off, and then the monitors pop to life, and there on the monitors are these great big military flying. They're like old like Heinz or military helicopters. They're like gunships, you know, but they're big flying tanks, and there's 3 of them, and they're coming to Mainframe's base of operation, and well, it's Devox and his goons coming for, well, they know something's up. They know somebody's here. I can't really say much else because it's going to give stuff away. So, but,
what was Roxy Love's manager name again? I do not remember.
Twilix.
Twilix.
Yes, and you guys figured out that Twilix, because when you guys went and you met Roxy Love, you ran into Twilix, her manager, who's a robot with a digital changing face, and he's like, hey, you know, he was not happy that Roxy was talking with you guys, and he even like sent some guys to rub you out after you met Roxy, which you guys dispatched, got rid of them, and you think it's very possible that Twilix is the one who ratted you guys out to Devox, the mayor of New York. And so, yeah, there it is. So hold on 1 second here. Let me go ahead and let's see which one was it this one? Let's see. Maybe. I guess if it plays, maybe it's not going to play.
Oh, I hear something.
There it is.
Unless I'm just convincing myself.
No, you're hearing something.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. Just turn it up a tad. Gotta get that theme. Gotta get that mood music going. You know what I mean?
Oh gosh.
There it is. Excellent. Okay, so where we're picking up at is you guys are in the old military complex. When you guys came in there and you ran into Mainframe and Margaret, his sidekick, he was in a warehouse where he was building a ton of these huge robotic, they're great big fighting robots is what he was making. And that's where Corey chased him around and what have you. And then the alarms went off, the screens came on, boom, 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 boom. And there were these 3 flying tanks coming. Now Mainframe, he takes a look at you guys and goes, oh, shit. It's Devox. He's coming. So, all right, guys. I got an idea. So, come with me. And he goes running over to one of the walls there in this big, massive, like, warehouse where the robots are getting built. And on the wall, there's a grate. It's like a ventilation grate, but it's kind of big. It's not like a small one like you see in the movies where they go army crawling through or anything like that. And he pulls out like a screwdriver or drill from off of his tool belt that he's got, and then he tells Margaret, get the other side, and they're like, and they like undo it, right? And then they move it aside, and there's this like ventilation shaft that's like 6 feet by 6 feet wide. He goes, okay, get in.
After you. And I gesture to all of you.
Where does this lead to?
Well, this is going to go up to... All right, this is my plan, okay? So, like, they're going to land up on the landing pad, you know? So, when they land up there, they're going to have to go around and come in through the entrance, right? Okay, got it.
Right.
Well, this ventilation leads to a lift that goes up to the landing pad. So we'll wait until they come in. Then we'll go on the landing pad, and we'll steal one of their ships. And then we can head out to New York.
Helix supposed to fit in there.
Yeah, he can fit.
I can fit in there.
Yeah, he can fit.
All right.
Because remember, he can shrink down a little bit and go up higher.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was a crawling situation.
Aren't we missing something here? What's going to New York gonna do for us?
Well, you said you're after the First Minister, aren't you? That's where she's at.
We need to talk to Devox.
What do you want to talk to Devox for? He's probably gonna shoot you. I mean,
He might
he's
shoot
not
you.
coming in his limo. He's coming in 3 flying tanks, and I'm sure he's got a bunch of guards armed to the gills with like big guns and stuff.
That's a good point.
Perhaps his car is in the shop.
No, it's not.
Why does Devox want to, shoot us for?
He probably knows you're here for the First Minister. I mean, let me guess. You guys have been walking around asking people about the First Minister, right?
Yeah.
Hey, have you seen her?
Well, let's talk to the man. If we steal his ride, well, then he'll have a reason. As it stands right now, it's 50-50, mate.
Well, like he hangs his head. He goes, if we do it that way, you guys are just going to get nabbed.
Well, hey, if we get nabbed, we might go where the minister's at. Yeah?
Do you
a foolproof plan.
Foolproof.
Egg, who is a small robot that is the shape of an egg with long, extendable arms. He tends to hang around Helix's neck. He goes, I will go anywhere that Helix goes. He's my ride. Get it?
I get it.
The egg's on board, and he's on board.
I got that one too.
You see, like, there's a look that goes between Mainframe and Margaret. They, like, give each other a look. He's like, all right. Okay. They put the grate back and put it back into place. He walks kind of slow on his metallic legs. Because remember, he's got those mechanical legs. He's like in a, over to one of his like data board things, and he just starts punching buttons on it, and it's just continues with the building of the robots. So I guess with that having been said, hold on a second. Now you can watch. It's still showing on the big monitor screen these incoming big flying tanks, and you watch as they get closer and closer. Then it shows them landing on the helipad. Move this over here first. Bloop, bloop.
This guy's name is Malcolm Bentz, is that right?
Yeah, but he goes by Mainframe. But Mainframe. Yeah, but Malcolm Bentz is his name, his real name. It's sort of like, how like everybody has like slang names for
business handles.
Yeah, and that's what he has. So Roxy's just kind of going, so we're not gonna go?
No, we're gonna sit here, make him a cuppa. Mainframe, where's the kettle?
And he points over here, and let me see, am I think, yeah. So like right there, where I just pinged, that's sort of like a, it's actually like a stove slash, got other stuff on it, It's like a workstation slash hot plate slash all that sort of stuff.
Bunsen burners are also skillet burners. I got it.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that having been said, we're gonna change the music around a little bit because that's a little bit more dramatic for having a conversation. You watched as these big tanks land down, and then out of the there's a gangplank that goes, lands, and come walking out of it is this really big bald black guy. Think of Zeus. You guys know who Zeus is? The guy who used to be a wrestler, was in a lot of movies and stuff.
Yeah.
He had the one lazy eye sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Think of it like him. He's a really big guy, and he's followed by a bunch of like black and white military robots, and he's got a another lady with a white suit on with him, and they come marching out. The other two flying tanks land in those the drop down. What do they call? What I just said it. It was the
helipads.
No, the door. Gangplank, I guess, would be. I don't know if that's on a ship, but anyway. So the thing they walk out on Those lower down too, and another group. So altogether, there's 10 of these like black and white armored robots. With those two, they go inside. You see them go. They walk off the platform, down some stairs, and when they do that, they go out of sight. There's a couple other robots that are on the flight deck there, or the landing pad, just kind of mulling around. There's 3 of them that were left behind. So there's 10 coming, 3 that were there. You guys wait for a little bit. Let me go over here and start pulling out some stuff. So down over here is where the door that enters into this section of the laboratory is at. After roughly 5 minutes goes by, you hear the as the door starts to unlock. Obviously, he has a key. Unlike when you guys came down here with Roxy and she had to smash on it, and then Margaret went and opened it up. Okay? And he comes first. A couple of these guys come walking in. Let me get a couple of them here, and I'm going to...
Oh, cool.
Bloop.
Yeah, those are rad.
And I'll show the picture here in a second. So that's
this might have been a bad decision.
No, if we all just lean in very closely.
Okay, so, and here I'm gonna blow one up so all the folk at home can see what our.
Well, that's a lot of them, yeah.
That's
cool.
what they look like, guys.
Those are badass.
They do.
And they're robots. They're not dudes.
Well, you know what? Technically, they could be either or.
Okay, so some, yeah. Gotcha.
They could be either or. Just the way that, I mean, some of them are obvious because they have like certain other types of things that are built onto them, like antennas or different things you would think. But it really could just be a suit, So, cool. And then
not even more.
Coming in behind him, there's Devox.
It's played by Terry Crews.
Yes, he is. It's Terry Crews. If I had to cast him, it's Terry Crews. Okay.
No, he wouldn't be intimidating. He's too nice.
If he's Terry Crews, if Terry Crews was a dick, how about that? He's definitely has a resting bitch face.
What about like Michael Clark Duncan? I feel like he's maybe like a Michael Clark Duncan.
Yeah, Michael Clark Duncan could definitely. I mean, normally he was a nice guy, but he definitely had a mode to make him flip a switch and become kind of scary.
Oh yeah, like in his role as the Kingpin in that awesome Daredevil movie.
Why did you have to bring that up? Oh.
I love that movie. People crap on the movie all the time, but I think it was pretty sweet.
Compared to the TV show, it sucks balls, though. Okay,
sure,
so
that is true.
These guys come, the doors open up, and these guys, you see that they come rushing in and take up, like, positions, okay? And then walking through, and here, I'll let everybody check this out. This is, that's the mayor of New York. That's Devox. He is wearing glasses. He looks extremely smart, as well as freaking huge.
And does he have any like mechanical parts, or does he look pretty much just human?
He's human. Okay. And then there's this lady that's with him. Okay.
Have we heard anyone talk about a lady that is with him all the time?
No. And you guys really haven't heard much at all about even Devox. I mean, you didn't even know anything about Devox or really the mayor. You heard his name dropped like once or twice when you first got on Planet Side, right? And then it wasn't until you met Roxy and were talking with Roxy that you found out a little bit more, Right. But you do know, like I said, in the city that surrounds the domed capital city of New York, there's what they call the Hive, or it's like it's a city too, but that one is definitely more like a cyberpunk city. This is where you have the splitters and the robotic cybernetic out people and all that different stuff. Everything wild and crazy you can imagine about a cyberpunk type world you find in the Hive. New York in the Dome City it's the next level up. And the higher up the social food chain you go, the less that people use cybernetics or anything along these lines. They just use the most perfectly engineered human bodies. And then when that body would start to get old or worn out, well, they would just get another one. Because all those people, those are the people that have digital stacks and whatnot. Most of the people in the Hive or the cyberpunk world, they don't really have digital stacks. There are people who do have them, but it's expensive. So, yeah. So my man, comes walking in, and he's real nonchalant. He's got a hand in one pocket, and he's kind of like just looking around. He goes, well. Mainframe. It appears you have some visitors. And as you can see, because he's got a coat on, and his coat, he pulls back his coat to put his hand in his pocket, and you can see that he's got a blaster and a holster at his side. That it becomes visible. You don't know if he put his hand in his pocket just to show that off, like he needed to with these 10 heavily armed, like assault droids with him. And he starts walking them and Roxy, love, come here, baby. And Roxy goes, oh, sure. She goes running over to him and gives him a big old hug. And he goes, what? He goes, Roxy, who are your friends?
Wowza.
That's all right. Corey made a cuppa and he dropped it. That's all. and Roxy turns around and she's got kind of a sheepish look on her face, like, sorry guys. She's like, well, the robot, they call him Helix, and the girl, her name is Emrix, and I hear that she's a techno-terrorist. And you're not going to believe it, D-Vox. That guy right there, that's Coriel Coin.
Nice to meet you, Maya. Heard good things.
Really? Interesting. Yeah. And he steps around Roxy, and he starts walking up closer. Now, you guys can see where you're here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. You guys can see where your tokens are at. So if you
I would have.
If you want to put yourself someplace different, because right now, Emrix is out in the front, playing, like she's going to be meeting everybody, like she's the mouthpiece.
Probably not the smartest thing to do.
I'm just saying. I'm just giving you the opportunity, Well,
after I assume I'd sit down. I don't know if anybody else would join me.
Yeah, you can. Mainframe's over here. This is that thing he was working on, and he's just being quiet, and he's walking up and goes, so you're Coriel Coin, huh?
Well, that's me.
You're a bit smaller than I thought. I heard you were dead.
Well, it gets around. I think I am.
Oh, you look pretty alive to me. And he's walking by Helix, and he pats Helix on the arm.
Excuse you.
Ding, ding, ding. Oh, you're a big one, aren't you?
Yes,
Helix.
sir.
They call you Helix, do they?
H3L16.
I could see. All right, excellent. I take it you're an Audi. You've been awakened, right? Which is another slang term for you've had the virus.
That is correct.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you then, Helix. And he keeps walking. He's walking up. I guess you weren't lying when you told me that you knew Coriel Coin, Mainframe. And he looks over at your boy, Mainframe, and he just kind of... Well, yeah, I told you I knew him. He goes, you also told me that everything they say about him is not true. He said that he was nothing more than a glorified baggage handler. And no offense, I could see why you say that.
Oh, cut me deep, Mayor. Cut me deep.
I'm just being honest, son. So,
Call it season. Respect that.
now, as he's moved up here, you see that these guys are starting to move up too.
Oh, is there any other door?
Out of here, no.
Okay, I didn't think so. I just wanted to make sure.
And Roxy's come up here. Roxy's like standing next to you now. They're Emmerichs. So these guys have all moved forward.
May I ask the reason for your visit?
Why, I was just going to ask you, gentleman and lady, the same thing.
Good question.
Well, as you know, it's an old friend of mine, and he tells me I wasn't expecting you today. I wasn't expecting you at all, actually.
Well, that's right. I was in the middle of dinner. Having a delightful time. A little bit of a party. Some of the higher elite crust of society within New York. It's a beautiful city. You get to see it. And then I get this urgent telephone call. Brought to me, I guess space call. There we go. I forgot. I got this right. I got the space call. From a fellow by the name of Twillix.
Oh, yeah.
And then...
And just kind of give Roxy fucking death glare.
And Roxy, like, pipes up and goes, I told you he probably told him. According to Twillix, you folks are looking for my #1 prize. You're looking for the First Minister. Now, is that true, Corey? And he turns and he looks at you, Corey.
I'm an honest man. Of course we are.
Well, here's your opportunity. Why don't you go ahead and tell me what you guys are looking to do?
Well, if you couldn't tell, I'm an hero, mate. Drug lord hero. Kind of a Robin Hood, you know? And as heroes go, I'm going to look around at the guards behind my back. They save a princess. Oh, you know, the hero dies. Maybe sooner than later. I see as I look at the rifles.
Let me move this up a little bit so everybody can see all those folks. Okay. Well, I definitely can't let you have her. Got plans.
Yeah.
And she's part of it. I figured that they'd be
Martin.
sending somebody down here, but to be honest, I figured they would have sent somebody else. No offense. I mean,
No, not taken.
Yes.
The thing is, me, that robot, not techno-terrorist, or expendable. That's why.
Terrible. So what did they promise you? And
Oh.
how are they planning to get you and the First Minister off of Earth? This is very important, because this might determine whether or not you live or die.
That's keenly ironic, that is. Because if we don't find her, that also determines if we live or die. As you see, it was, where was it? It was like right here. They injected us with some degrading chemical what's it? Even Emmerich over there has it. Except him. Robot has a nuclear warhead inside of him. Might blow.
I'll explode.
Die. He'll explode. Ain't that right, Egg?
I won't let Elix explode. I can open him up and take the bomb out. Would you like me to do that now?
I don't think that's a good idea.
Aww. And here, I made Egg his token.
Oh, you did?
He's
Nice.
got a token now. Hold on, I gotta shrink him down. Hold on, first, I gotta show everybody at home Egg. There's Egg.
That's amazing.
That's the little. He's the little
That is
robot
adorable.
buddy of Helix. Now let me shrink him down.
I see his steel shell and his steel body. If his steel body opens up, is there a smaller egg inside of him?
Yeah, that's basically he can like do like a turtle, go, and then he opens up.
Made in Russia.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A nesting
exactly.
egg.
Let me see here. I want who do I want? There he is. Okay, you should be able to control Egg now,
Yep.
Dylan.
All right.
Let's see. Go ahead and take a shot. See if you can move him around.
Yeah, there we go.
There he is.
Let's
Now
look
he's your
at
little
that.
boy now. You've got control over my little man.
Fantastic.
Okay. Yes. Well, that's terrible for you.
Oh, it's awful. It's awful, man.
Absolutely terrible. Now, I could say, make an empty promise just off the top of my head. Say, don't worry about that. I can make sure that gets fixed for you. I can make sure that we take the bomb out of this here lifter, Helix. I could say that. I don't know if it's true, but I can tell you this. We could try and do that. We could definitely try. Now here's the thing, though. This is the real crucial part. How you planning on getting off of Earth?
Simple. It's really simple, yeah? Emrix, tell him how simple that is.
I have no intention on getting off this earth.
Helix, tell him how simple it is.
I can fly.
Never mind. Listen. Once we have the Prime Minister,
Yes.
or First Minister, Ministress, don't know. They're going to send down a whirly whiz gig, yeah? He's going to lift us off and head us back out to space.
And how do they know when you have the minister?
Proximity.
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 Yeah.
Really?
Even if she was here right now, they would be landing any minute. That's what
Really?
they said.
Well, there's a problem with that part of the story, seeing as how most signals are not available to be transmitted through the force field that encompasses
Ah.
the Earth. And Joe,
It's-
you just have to show up next to her. Well, seeing as how she's not in her original body anymore, which you already know, how's that gonna happen? They just know from you? What I'm trying to do here is work out a deal. See, if you can help me, I realize you're all pretty new at this sort of thing. I'm planning on opening up the Earth. I'm going to crack it open like an egg. And he turns around and he looks at Egg. He goes, no offense.
I shove him behind my back and just to be safe.
And I'm going to go and take over Liberty One, the space station. Mainframe here has been working on a teleportation device, sort of like the jump stations that they use for the big spaceships to travel around the galaxy. There was technology here. And we've got spaceships. We just need that God-forsaken force field to come down from surrounding the Earth, and we can all just fly away. Now, here's the thing. If you've got an easier way for me to do it, because, well, while I trust Mainframe, I only trust him so much. And I don't know if that teleportation device will work as well as it's supposed to. But if you've got a surefire way to get off of the planet and up to the space station, we might be able to do a little bit of business. So with that having been said, let's try this again. The whirligig's gonna come down and pick you up. And it's just going to know to do that when you're in the presence of the First Minister?
Yes.
What do you have for us? Why would we tell you this?
He kind of like looks around and he goes, well, last I counted, there's 10 elite shock robot troopers right here. I think that should begin the negotiations with, I have your lives on the line.
Well, they ain't worth much now, isn't it? Since we're
Our
going
lives
to-
are. They're already there. They're already on the line.
And the thing is,
Well, there you go.
we can die, you can shoot us here. And so, guess what? We're gonna say anything you want, anything that we can think of to make sure we don't die. Now, we could tell you that maybe we have, like, a beacon planted inside us, and when the two things are together, proximity and all that. Or we can say that you say a magic word, and their radio signals. Point being, we can say whatever to ensure that we live, yeah? And we will. Only way to test it is to let us be proximatized next to the First Minister.
Right. Well, I guess with that having been said, I have some preparations that need to be made before I introduce you to the First Minister. So,
But that's
why don't you all just come with me?
that's brilliant.
Yes. Oh, but first, these two guys come over.
I'm drinking.
Where's-
I'm drinking.
Yeah, this guy comes over. Roxy moves. These two guys come over to Emmerich's, and then these two guys come over and they flank Helix there to go, we're going to have to take all of your weapons, of course. First off, just to make sure that everything goes.
Are you
the way
sure?
it's supposed to. Oh, I'm sure.
Because me and this blaster here, this shoot, I might take on all 10 of you.
Son, let's try and do this civilized like.
Of course, man. Of course. You can trust me. I'm Coriel Coin. Ready
Yeah.
for new life. I'm going to hand over his gun. My
Okay,
gun.
okay. The one guy will take it, and then the other guy, because they've got their big blaster rifles on cords, so he just like lets it hang, and then he starts searching you and pulling out any other weapons that you might have. And one of the this robot that's in front of you there, Emmerich's, does that whole like put your arms up. Actually, it even says,
Put your arms up, please.
I mean, I guess I raise them.
okay, they start pulling your weapons away from you, and then the one that's one of the ones standing next to Helix goes,
It looks like you only have the stud rifle. Is that correct, Helix?
That is correct.
I will be taking that from you now, please.
Absolutely.
and he takes that. Well, I gotta say thank you for being so accommodating, and let's go and try and work this out. I mean, this is really some spectacular stuff. You all might be partly responsible for Earth being able to, the people of Earth being able to travel about the galaxy for the first time in hundreds of years. It's pretty momentous, don't you think? And allowing, and then he looks at Helix, and then he looks at Emmerich's, and allowing for the first time all those sentient arties here on Earth the choice to live wherever they wish in the galaxy. Exciting, isn't it?
I couldn't help but notice you're human.
Yes.
Why would you free all of these arties who are living down here?
Why wouldn't I? They're just as much my citizens as anyone else.
they're happy. Out there, it's nothing but hurt and pain, and it's not a welcoming place for them.
Yes. But that's their choice now, isn't it?
If you open the force field, they're not going to have a choice.
Why beg to differ?
You don't think that all those people up there watching aren't just gonna blow this place up?
Well, see, that's where the sneakiness comes in. We're going to storm Liberty One. If we take over the space station, well, there's not going to be a whole lot of booming and explosions happening at all. We'll have total control over all the satellites. We'll have total control over all of the ships in the sector that are around Earth. With Liberty One in our control, well, we'll be able to do whatever the hell we please. And that could mean let all those who have spaceships and have been building them now for the past 10 years to fly away and go wherever they want.
You're definitely human.
I don't know if that's supposed to be an insult or not, but either way, let's go. He turns around, starts walking away. And he says, Shad, and then this lady starts following him. So you caught her name then. So Shan. Okay, so basically what's going to end up happening then...
Her name's Chan?
No, Shan. S-A-H...
Okay.
A-N. Not Chan. Shan.
Yeah. Righteous.
So, yeah. All right, well, that went off completely different than what I thought it was going to be.
And see, if we're walking together, I'm just whispering to the guys, hey.
Yeah, they'll basically, so what they'll do then is they'll put the three of you in the center, right? They're taking Mainframe with them, okay? But not Roxy. Roxy's staying behind, okay? And so there'll be the three of you guys, and then you're flanked with five of these, well, four, and then one on each end as they're marching you back through the old military compound back up to the landing pad where those big flying tanks are at. So you were gonna say something there, Jonathan?
Nope.
Gordon?
I'm good.
Okay.
Oh, I'm just letting them know that hey, we're alive. That's what counts.
I am certainly still alive.
And just because I made this map, I'm going to go ahead and show it.
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
Don't be sorry. I mean, that's the beauty of role playing, man. You got to be able to go with the flow. Okay, so everybody I'll show everybody at home. This is the landing pad. Those are those three big flying tank things that are there. So there's the three guards. So, not that I have to use that really. I'm not going to just show it. Show me marching the figures in. So they march you through. They march you out. March you up the steps. March you onto the landing pad. It's beginning to rain again because, well, it's that time of year. The big swirling vortex is out over what used to be the Atlantic Ocean. And they march you into one of the flying tanks. And let me go ahead and I'm going to show this map too, god damn it. So here's the inside of a flying tank. Show that for everybody. Show that for everybody. So now I will ask the question: Are you guys going to do anything in your tank as you fly back? Because otherwise, I'll skip over this and we'll continue.
I do want to discuss something with the group.
Okay.
If we're all going to be together.
Okay, sure. So what we'll do then? Here, go ahead and just in case, is drop your tokens onto this. And this has got another. This one's a little bit different. You see that guy there?
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit different than the other ones. Boop, boop.
Nice.
So, and I'll shrink you guys down to the appropriate size here in a second.
I liked being big.
I know. I know you did. Wow, you're really big. Okay. Okay, so basically, while this is a hold here, and let's see here. I'll put a couple more of these guys in here. Okay, so this guy's flying, so I'm going to put him up in the cockpit. And then these guys are... There's like, even though it doesn't really show it on the map here, there is a number of... there is a number... Actually, he would be standing there. Take him out, like right there. There's a number of chairs and different things that you guys can be sitting in and what have you during the flight. Okay? So you guys can go ahead and say what you guys say.
Okay. I just wanted to get clear the air a little bit about this whole situation. How do you all feel about the potential of the Earth reaching the rest of the galaxy?
They'll be slaughtered. They're not going to. And I just kind of like start rubbing my temples because I don't agree with this at all.
What did you say? Saying like the world, and the universe is all bad. We came from it, didn't we? We're alive.
And we quarantined all of these people down here, all of these living things. Out there is no understanding. The here is where the future is.
So, don't you think that the universe can use the future? Out there? Potential? Potential. That's a key phrase.
The closed-mindedness I've encountered doesn't show potential.
What if we have the capability to bring this to the rest of the galaxy?
Yeah. Spread it all and whatnot. That's what you're all about, yeah? Techno-terrorist.
Perhaps we're fighting for the wrong side.
Perhaps we're fighting for the wrong side. That's a smart egg on you.
You hear that, egg?
Smart egg.
I did. Thank you, Corey. I am very smart.
So what's your misgivings about?
I mean, you're right. I would agree. We are currently, the wrong side is with us.
Perhaps if you plan to stay here, then there's no downside to helping them go out there.
Not to interject, guys, but I should have stated this before. When they took your weapons, they took your trackers too.
Oh.
That.
Well, hang on.
My iPad.
Yes.
Your space pad.
Your space pad.
And your space trackers.
Your space tablet. They essentially took any sort of weapons and any sort of electronics devices off of you. Do I need to retcon anything because of that?
I mean,
it's kind of a big deal, so that's my mistake for not mentioning it. But
we'll make do.
Okay.
I don't think
we couldn't have done anything about it once we were that deep in, anyway. So
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you, Helix. Maybe it isn't so bad to help them.
It would mean we'd have to find another way to solve our ticking clock problems.
Yeah. That's the thing, isn't it?
Just as a question. Sorry, just as a question. I mean, if I upload my ego or whatever, I don't need my body, right?
Are you talking about if you upload your ego into a computer?
Yeah.
That's really dangerous to do.
Well, yeah.
Because yes, you can do that. But what ends up happening is that you're going to move from system to system, and systems have security against that. So essentially, you're going to be putting yourself in a situation where you might have your ego nullified. So just think of malware. You know what I mean? It's like you're a virus, and you're going into a computer, and depending on the computer, and depending on the types of programs it has to protect against that, you know, a personal computer or something like that in somebody's house or what have you, that's not that big of a deal. Going into more highly protected things, yeah, that's extremely dangerous. And basically what would happen is if your ego is uploaded, because I like that, and we're going to just say as far as canon goes, ego is what they end up calling it. If you can be completely wiped out. You would no longer exist. So it's really dangerous to do, but you can do it. Say, for example, one thing that happens is it's not super uncommon, although, well, it is kind of uncommon, where people what they'll do is they'll take their ego, they'll take their digital stack, and they'll put it into a spaceship, in the spaceship's computer, and then basically they're running the spaceship. You know what I mean? They become the spaceship. People have done that before, but that's on a more centralized sort of thing. Going into a network, that's really dangerous. So, just so you know. So,
in other words, we'd have to get free of here and find someone to do it legitimately for that to be a valid option.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's real different than just uploading yourself into a robot. Robots are designed to be self-contained, just for the fact that they don't want people hacking into them to take them over. So they already have really good defenses that can prevent other people from hacking into them and taking them over and stuff. Okay? And when they become sentient or aware, because of the AI virus, it's almost impossible to take them over at that point in time. Then. So.
Okay. All right. Trying to remember what my initial thought was when I asked that question.
I think we were trying to figure out a way out of you guys being poisoned.
Yeah, for you to not die, not die from the poison. If you wait for you to escape the deteriorating.
Well,
whatever.
You guys both have. We checked, right? We know for a fact that Emmerich's has a digital stack. Corey had one too, right? We established that. Yeah. He's got one too. Technically, you guys could get your digital stacks removed.
You just stack out.
You could, and put your ego into something else.
Let's do that.
You can totally do that.
Yeah, I mean that's the route I'm thinking about. Versus, I don't know how we're gonna get a bomb out of a Helix.
Just need to find the right technician.
Provided, of course, they didn't booby trap your stacks in some kind of way before they set you down.
I mean,
also, if we let our stacks get taken out, there's no guarantee they will be put into other bodies. We might just get shelved.
Well, if Helix does it, I'd trust Helix to do it.
Well, if Helix does it, sure.
Have you seen Helix's hands?
That's all you need.
I can like.
You've got like
fine motor
do you
skills
got like
for
the,
like healing.
do you got like little R2D2 things like, or maybe like your
I thought
chest
this through.
plate opens up and like these little ones come out?
I thought this through because when he was on that ship, he sort of like rebuilt some of his own stuff using what was on the ship. So he does have, because he has medicine skills. So I figured for him to be able to provide medicine skills, he must have some other smaller, more fine motor skill arms. So he can do, and he does have a really high medicine.
There you go.
So he might be able to, and that's also robot interface and repair. So I don't know if those two skills together equal.
Totally, you could totally do it.
Doing that,
and
but that is an option.
And you could get Egg to help you.
There you go. And if we do it one at a time, someone else can help me too. So
there you go.
Right.
The option's there.
Yeah.
And then I'll sort of whisper once we've had that conversation, like, the other option is we kill everyone here.
We're in the middle of flying, aren't we?
Yeah, you're in the middle of flying back to New York. You're not
and I lean in and I go, I'm very good at flying.
Okay, here's the thing. When you guys went up onto the platform, okay, Devox went up with mainframe, and you had the other shock trooper robots, and then they dispersed into different ones. Mainframe, Devox, and that lady Shan, they all went onto one of the tanks, and then you guys were taken onto another, and then so. The only people that are here with you is, and I that's why I went ahead and I put them in here. There's one of the black and white shock troopers. He, and that's the first one I showed you. He's actually flying it, and then there's these 4 shock troopers that are back here in the back with you.
I'm sorry. You just say you want to kill them all. Just stop. Well, we can't go out guns a-blazing because we have no guns.
It is the other option.
I see no benefit to it, man.
Conversation complete.
Okay, let's just put a pin in it, yeah? Once we go, just think of it as a free ticket to New York. Once we're in the fortress or whatever Devox has, then we can start shooting. Once we have our guns.
Understood. Perhaps we could come up with a signal. How about if you blink, I'll start killing everyone.
No, that's not.
It just did. Corey just blinks involuntarily.
No, it's not a good one. It's not a good one. I'll stop it. We have a couple of hours, maybe 30 minutes. I don't know how long it is.
It doesn't take long at all. It's basically.
We don't have long at all.
Yeah.
You make one. Actually, no, not you. Emmerich's. Make one.
Pineapple.
If he eats a pineapple, I will kill everyone.
Yeah, a whole
I eat a pineapple.
Right now.
Haywire.
Understood.
Haywire, that's a name. It's a good name.
Egg, did you catch that? If you want me to start killing everyone, just say haywire.
I thought it was pineapple.
That will work too. Either one.
What if I say pineapple haywire?
I won't do anything.
What if I say kill them all?
All right.
Doesn't answer.
I know. I've got the perfect code word. It should be Helix, get him!
I like it.
Cool. Good talk. Good
Okay.
points.
Good talk.
So is it haywire? Is my guess.
That's good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, so all right. So the flight from Mainframe's place back to the capital city, it's roughly 30 minutes. It's not very long. Okay, And you guys are just kind of chilling out in the hold there. After roughly that 30 minutes goes by, you can hear the engines starting to go through their systems and changing in their thruster output. You know, it's like, and you can feel actually the slowing down of the ship, and you know, some kind of swaying and different things along these lines. Okay. Then there's a as it touches down. It's not really like, you know, forceful or anything, but it's definitely enough that you notice that it's touched down. The I guess I'm just going to keep calling it a gangplank until I can figure out what the real word is. The gangplank goes down, and the shock troops that are in there have all gotten up and gotten in a line. And I didn't realize I had you that big. Not that it matters anymore.
Yeah.
That's a little bit better.
Big.
And then I got egg way too big. There we go. Not that it matters because we're about to leave this map now. But the shock troopers, they, you know, it lands, gangplank goes down, and they stand in a line, and one of them just like gestures a hand towards the gangplank and says,
"After you, please."
You guys go down the gangplank, and what you see is all around you. Let's see, do I even have anything for this? Let me go back and put it onto this guy right here. Go back to the main map. There we go. Okay, so you are on top of one of these tall skyscrapers. Okay, the orange dome above you that encompasses the entire capital city gives a slight orange tinge to everything. The further away from the dome that you get, of course, the less of a tinge it has. All the buildings here are clean, well kept. It's like a very stark difference from where you guys were in the old, worn down hive city that surrounds the capital city. Okay, the other two flying tanks are on this landing pad with you, and as you guys come out, there is the rest of those 10 the other 6 shock troop guards. There's that lady Shan is there in her white suit, but you do not see the mayor. He's not there. And Shan, you know, as you guys come off, she's standing there waiting for you. Goes, "I'm going to take you to your quarters now." And that's all she says. She turns around. You guys go across to the end of the landing platform. There is sort of like, there's sort of like trolley cars without a roof. Okay? And you guys are led onto these. So there's seats and there's bars and handles that you can hold onto. And then this lifts up, because again, it's a flying car. It's a future. It's a space car. And after it lifts up, it starts flying off of this platform that you're on that is on top of one of these really... Now, these skyscrapers that are in here are freaking huge, okay? They are twice the size as far as height-wise of any of our current modern skyscrapers, and are collectively, if you were to take, say, like 6 or 8 different skyscrapers and smush them all together, that's how big they are. These things are huge. But this little floating platform trolley car that you're on takes off, starts flying down, and it's flying in between all of these different skyscrapers. There's all the different electronic ads. You see other cars flying around, nice, sleek, well taken care of, very stylish cars. You see people out in like parks that are that are connected to parts of these skyscrapers. Like it's a little like jutted out platform with grass and trees and things like this, and you see people down there playing and throwing space frisbees to dogs and stuff like that. And as it continues to fly, it continues to go lower and lower. You move through these big skyscrapers, and it starts to get darker. The bases, you're starting to get in what you notice are the bases of these skyscrapers. Now, the skyscrapers went from, narrower at the top, and they started getting bigger as they go down. Okay, eventually it gets to a point where the stainless steel and sleek plastic of all these skyscrapers gives way to huge, like cement stone block type foundations. These two seem to appear to have, well, they don't appear, they have windows in them and doors, and you can tell that there's like catwalks. And as the chasms that were in between the different skyscrapers shrink down and down and down into basically like large streets, it goes further down and it gets darker, and there's more artificial lighting and light posts, and you see that the general cleanliness and new age, new tech, high tech version of it starts to deteriorate, and it starts to look more and more like the tech level that you're seeing outside in the hive. The trolley goes down, and it goes to a point where you can't even see the orange dome anymore. There's so many different buildings that they'll jut up and they'll jut to a different way, and you've gone through this like labyrinth down to a street level where the sky is just artificial. It's buildings and pipes and things along these lines. There's a road down here. Now down here there are cars that travel on wheels and things like this, as well as cars that hover. There aren't really a lot of flying cars down at this level. Your trolley still flies over the traffic, and it's like weaving in and out of these older districts of New York City. It starts going to a place where there's less light. There's less, light posts. Some of the windows start to become boarded up, and it starts to look more like a ghetto. And then eventually it gets to a point where there's no light. You're traveling along, just skimming across the top of a concrete, ancient, road. The buildings that are on all sides are pretty much just rubble. The only lights are those that are coming off of essentially like the headlights of the trolley, and it's got like running lights and what have you. You can see as you're traveling through this area too, like shadows or shapes that move in the distance, running away from the light. They're humanoid in form, but there's also smaller, like doggish or maybe extremely large rat sizes. The trolley starts coming down this road, and it opens up into sort of like a small square, and on the other side of this square is a very large and must have at one time been an extremely regal looking building. There used to be tons of windows on this, which are all smashed out, of course. Doors that have been kicked in or just not there at all anymore. And this trolley lands right there. Now, all 10 of those shock troops didn't come with you because they couldn't fit onto the trolley. Okay? So there are 4 shock troops on the trolley and that lady Shan. And when it lands, and it lands in front of what was obviously at one time this main entryway into whatever this building used to be. And It's got like brass window panes and frames, and like an archway made of brass that are all very old, very ancient and gas. Well, I guess brass doesn't turn green; it turns dark, right? So copper would be what would turn green, but it's very, you could see that probably at one time it was probably very pretty, but now it's not. Each one of the shock troops, essentially a flashlight pops out of the side of their head and turns on, and then another one pops out the other side and turns on, and after the trolley has landed, they get off the trolley and stand there, and then motion you guys to get off, and then they start heading towards this arched entryway. There's no doors on it anymore. There's the frames of where the doors would have been, and you can see as you get closer in the light from their headlights, I guess is what you would call them, their flashlights that are on their helmets, it says New York Railway Head 1 over the doors. They lead you through these doors, down some stairs, into a wide open space area where it's like a platform for where trains used to pull up. There is light in here, and so they click off the lights on their helmets, and they start leading you down to some old trains that are parked basically on a rail down at the end. And I do have a map for this.
Nice.
So let me go ahead and pull that bad boy up. Okay. Now I know you guys can't see this. Everybody at home can for a bit. I'm going to reveal some areas here. Okay, so what I want you guys to do is I want you to bring in and drop your tokens right over here. Actually, you know what? You just drop them right here onto the platform. I'm Emrex. I'm huge.
Oh, she just takes after her player.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
You got guns?
Maps.
Is that what it is, Grace? You started lifted?
No, more or less just I've got a big ego.
Oh, well, there you go.
So it got me big.
You should have control over him there now. I should make him a character sheet so you can just grab and drop him whenever you want. Okay, so you guys are brought over here. Let's let me get Shan, and then let me get a couple of these guys. Boop. 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 That's the official sound effect for people being dropped. Okay. And as you're being led down here, this guy comes walking out. Let me, I'll show him. Let me put him in a spot where you can see him. There we go.
Huh.
Okay. Looks like a kind of technical science kind of guy.
Yeah.
Looks very proud.
He is very proud. He's, he's got an ego to match somebody's. And he comes out of this this door right here, closes behind him, and comes walking up, and then these two talk for a little bit, and then they bring you over here, and they tell you to get into the train. You can overhear, basically, this guy's name is Slade.
Slade.
And he's obviously in charge. Shan comes up to him, goes, "These ones are to be held as well." And he goes, "Very well." And then so they take you over, and they're going to take you, and they're going to put you in here. So let me go ahead, and you're told to get inside. And Shan tells you guys as you go in. Yeah, go inside here. Drop your tokens in there. Shan tells you are to remain here until the mayor determines what to do next. Is there anything I can get you before I leave?
I would love a glass of water.
Very well, since there's nothing you really need, I shall be on my way. And she turns around and... Whoa, I didn't want to do that. She turns around and she leaves. And I'm just going to place her over here out of the way. Slade doesn't even say anything to you guys. He just leaves as well. Now, inside this this is a train car. Okay? Like a choo-choo train car. It's not like... Now, as you were led through this place, it was a wreck. Okay? There was, totally, the place is falling apart. There's holes in the walls, and things along these lines. The two train cars that were there look pristine, though. They look brand new. Okay? Inside there's the seats and what have you, and there's also different... there's like refreshments, food, and things along these lines. And even though it doesn't show it there on the map, it's got a bathroom in there and that sort of thing. In the car, there's two of those shock troops at either end, as you can see.
Inside it with us?
Yeah, they're inside the actual car. And then there's this robot. Okay? The robot is pretty. It's small in stature. It's about only 4 feet tall. Okay, and it just watches as everybody comes in, and then goddamn, Grace.
Sorry.
It's all right. I just looked at it. All I saw was this big old beam, give a light there.
Sorry, I wanted to light this candle.
No worries. Go ahead. And the robot is just in there. And after the doors are closed, you can hear the hum of magnetic locks on the doors. Okay. The little robot gets down off of a seat on the floor, looks at you guys and goes, "Well, well, well. Who do we have here? Who are my new visitors?"
Peter. Let's call him Peter.
Peter.
Yeah.
I am Paul, and this is Mary.
You're Paul Mary.
I was going to go for...
You know what? And that goes straight over the top of this one's head. Has no idea.
This egg says, and I'm Jesus.
Hold on a second. There it is. She goes, "Well, Peter, Paul, and Mary, it's nice to meet you."
Yeah, likewise.
I'm Brenna. Brenna Fiena. How are you?
Brenna Fiend. Strong.
Brenna Afia. Thank you. What's that look, Dylan?
That name, isn't that...
Sandra Agrita? Is what you're hearing.
No, I could have... Because isn't that a name we've heard?
Yes.
Afida? I don't know, but it just sounds like Sandra Agrita. That's why.
True. That is true.
Brenda Afia, Sandra Agrita.
Brenna Afia.
But
swear,
yeah.
You've
That's
heard it.
always-
Oh yeah, you've heard it before.
Is that the first minister?
Yes, it's the first minister.
Shit.
Hey, GM's Cut, thank you for following us. We appreciate that very much.
Oh shit! Yeah. I see. I wrote it with 2 N's instead of
Yeah.
1. That's why.
Yeah, Brenna Afia is the first minister.
Oh shit! Well, I don't know that. What do I know that? I think I know that.
Yeah, you were told.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah,
whether or not
yeah.
your character has forgotten because you want to play it that way is completely up to you.
Let's say Cord forgot because I forgot.
Okay.
Because that's not
And
how we-
obviously, Emrix has forgotten too. She's too busy
Right.
thinking about, now, what type of plating do I want on my new robot body?
I have been pretty preoccupied. You're right.
Okay.
Nice to officially meet you. We have met your body already.
That would have gotten my attention.
You have?
This body. Do all you robots just know each other?
That's
Well,
racist.
that is incredibly racist. No, and I'm not a robot. I just happen to be inhabiting a robot
Listen,
body.
I'm going to like knock this robot on the chest. You hear that?
That's incredibly rude. If I was in my regular form, you would have knocked me in the boob.
Boob.
Yes.
Robo boob.
No, a real life flesh and blood boob. That's normally what I have. And she turns and she looks at Helix and he goes, "Where did you see my body?" "Oh, let me guess. It was with that singing tart, wasn't it?"
Well, I haven't met a singing tart, but I have met a singing whore. Just kidding. I got what you meant. Yes.
Roxy.
Wait. Hey, what are you talking about?
Tart means whore.
Yes.
Right.
So why are you folks here?
Wait, Prime Minister's boy?
The
That's
first minister.
correct.
Whatever. It's Prime first, Alpha Minister. Look, as soon as you find her, yeah? We're out of this rock. Oh, so
Good news.
wherever she is, we gotta come up with a plan.
All right.
Egg.
What's your plan?
Look, mate, I don't know who you are, what you want. This is me. ABC conversation. So split like a banana, yeah?
And she looks
Anyway.
back at Helix and she goes, "Obviously, you're the one in charge here."
I didn't think so until now.
Excellent.
What you got a plan, Helix? Let's hear it.
I say we take the first minister and leave.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Well, do you have a way
Well,
out of
fine,
here? And she points down the aisles. They can hear us talking.
Of course I can. Can't you?
What?
Talking to nothing. Helix, plan.
Why would you want to break me out here anyway? What are you people? Because you guys
We
don't
have-
have the ProSec jumpsuits on that you because you got rid
No,
you
yeah.
ditched that.
Yeah,
So you just
street
look.
clothes.
You guys actually look. You don't even look like the people that live in. Well, in Upper New York, you don't look like those people at all because they're all well dressed. You know, have these space suits on. I guess I can't say it that way because it sounds like a helmeted thing. They have nice suits on and things like that. Lower New York, yeah, you could maybe be one of those type of people, but she goes.
We have been sent to bring you home.
You have. The ProSec sent you.
That is
Well,
correct.
Obviously, you haven't done very well.
No, ma'am.
You're in here with me now.
Very astute.
I'm sorry, who are you?
I'm Brenna Afia, the first minister of Sector 1, says the robot.
Oh, yeah! Hey, we did it, lads! We found her!
Congratulations.
I think that deserves high fives. I'm gonna high five it.
High five.
I want a high five too, says Egg.
You Egg, we did it. We're heroes. Emmerich, high five me.
Yeah.
With your hand. I'll put your hand up, Emmerich. Hand up.
So let me get
You
this
man.
straight. The ProSec The Protectorate Security sent you. That's what ProSec stands for, Protectorate Security. The Protectorate Security sent you down here to. Who are you people? You don't by no means seem like special forces of any sort. No offense. And how are you supposed to be getting me out of here?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
It's good.
We do not have a plan.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
If you
And she
say
said-
pineapple, I will kill everyone.
Don't say that. You can't say it, Elix. It's one of us. One of us is say it and not egg. One of us.
I don't say pineapple. I say, get him, Helix.
Don't say that either.
You did.
We agree.
I'm getting mixed messages.
Listen to us. Listen to us and Emmerich's. That's it.
Fine.
How did you of all people end up in a robot?
Well, they put me in here, of course.
Well, obviously, but how did you get here?
What do you mean? How did Devox put me down here? This supposed mayor of New York, little little piece of nothing.
Who took you from your crash site?
I'm assuming Devox's people did. I was brought straight to the I was brought to that, whatever you want to call the city around this domed monstrosity first. And then I was brought in here, and my digital stack was taken from my body and put into this robot. I overheard him saying something about giving my body to Roxy for a present, something along those lines.
Creepy.
Yes. So let me get this straight. They sent you down with no plan to get me out.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
that's nice. She goes over and she sits down. I'm going to have to think about this. How are you supposed to get me out of here?
Well, listen. We had little,
No, I don't.
iPads, and we were supposed to press a button, and the cavalry was supposed to appear. That's it.
Where are those at?
Oh, yeah, we don't have them. Yeah. I'm going to sit down there.
Yeah, no, we don't have those anymore.
All three of them. Lost.
All of them gone.
Lost to space. Dust in the wind. Yeah. Actually, he might have them. That guard over there. We saw one just like him. There was about 20. No, there was about 30 of them guards.
Yes.
Yeah. Off. Sure shame.
Yeah, that's terrible. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, good meeting you guys. The robot goes and sits down back down. Seems to be done with everything. Well, yeah.
Yep.
That was a great first impression, everyone. Congratulations.
Whatever, it's fine.
So what are you guys going to do?
We're definitely reaching the end of Act 2 because it's definitely the dark night of the soul, and the old Joseph Campbell arc, the hero here. We're definitely
he's getting there.
we're definitely near reaching bottom here.
Hey, Lix, you have any plans to get out of here?
I could crush everyone's head.
Yeah, we'll put a pin. Put a pin now. Anything else? Because we do need those iPads, those little trackers, as devices, because people seem really interested in how we're getting off this rock. And frankly, I'm kind of running out of ideas of how to store them, because that is our only option. Emmerich, anything?
I mean, I don't know. How we're just gonna wait for him to come back. Once he's decided what he's gonna do with us.
I gotta ask. So is now waiting to talk to Devox still seem like a great idea?
Well, we did find the prime minister.
You did. You found the first minister. You did find her.
And that was what I was saying. Is like, this is a one-way ticket to at least see if we can find a location, get inside the stronghold.
Got it. Accomplished.
Is the phrase "it's easier to break out than to break in" accurate? I don't think that's a thing. That's not a phrase, is it? Let's make it.
It sounds like a phrase of somebody who's in prison would say.
I think the sentiment that it is easier to break out of the room we're in than to break into this entire complex might be a correct one.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Let's just take it step by step. Now, if
of course, we had one of those tanks. We could have flown right into this place, no problem.
Grabbed her left.
Wait, what are you saying?
He said if you had one of those tanks, you probably could have just flown right into this place, no problem.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, there is always that too.
Hindsight's always 20/20, mate. Well, I think Emmerich is right. Either we wait here, talk to Devox, and wait till Devox decides what to do with us, or we say the P word.
Penis. But
not that one.
Understood. I think really the question is, do we dance with the one that brung us, or do we turn the tides and join up with Devox?
Oh, that's not an option at all. Like he said himself, he can make all the promises, but who knows how long, how much. Oh, actually, I was going to say you can't trust promises, but what was that? The space police,
Pro-sex.
They said that pro-sex show. They made promises, and who knows if they're going to uphold. Actually, we can't trust anyone, can we?
No.
we have to trust someone.
So, trust Devox, trust Prosec, or trust in our hearts.
That last one seems like the least promising.
Yeah. Egg pipes up and goes, I trust in your heart.
Well, there is that fourth option. I'm quite partial to it. We can, what do I have in my pockets? They took our guns, they took our laptops.
Anything that is non-electronic you guys have in your pocket.
Fantastic. So, continuing on, we have a fourth option. And, this is one I'm quite partial to. And I'm going to dig in, pull out the coin. Trust and fate. Heads, we wait.
Is this two-faced?
Yeah. It's a, how am I going to make my decisions?
Yeah, right.
Heads, we wait. Let's talk to Devox. Tails, we trust in Prosec and stick with the plan. That being finding our iPads, that being getting out of here, that being saying that tropical fruit that actually eats your own mouth because of the enzymes. Sound good? Flip this. There we go.
I'm on board, I suppose.
Emmerich's.
Outruled. 2 against 1.
Fair enough. I mean, yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
So heads we for Devox. Tails we stick with the original plan.
Okay, just roll a 1d2. And
should I? Well, I'll roll, or do you want to tell me what it lands on? Yeah.
No. It's gonna be just roll it.
Are you sure?
Positive.
What's happening?
I'm fine with narrative direction here.
We're about to get one when you roll.
Here, /R.
So before you roll,
wait. Yeah.
A 1 will be tails, which is.
Tails is we turn on them.
Okay.
Tails we turn on them.
And 2 will be heads, which means you trust in Devox.
Right.
Other way.
Wait,
Trust.
no, the other way.
We're getting mixed up. Okay, let's see. 1, we stick with the first plan, going with Prosec. 2, we go with Devox.
Okay.
Plan.
All right, there you go. So just
all right,
roll a 1d2.
Okay. I'm going to pick it up off the ground. Okay. That was the first one.
So he flips it, he picks it up, and he looks at it and goes, all right, it says what he says. Right about that time, you hear like some commotion going on outside the car. Talking. Nothing, you can't understand or make out what's being said, but there's definitely voices, and like you hear some like boots and things along these lines, right? The door opens up. Into the car. Let me see where he's at here. Hold on a second. And I'm going to get his token because I'm probably going to need it. There he is. Okay. In comes Mainframe.
Oh God! Can we just kill him? Just kidding.
He's got a large, like, toolbox with him that he's carrying. And he's like, hey, guys, I just got done talking to Slade. Helix, you want to come over here, please? He sent me down to make sure that, to get this bomb out of Helix. So does Helix come walking up to him?
Don't know if that's the best idea. Now,
trust me, I'm good at this.
Do I remember whether they said this thing was like rigged? I never asked. I don't think so. I don't think they would have.
Oh, they told you, yeah. It's rigged that unless you're a professional trying to take it out, it could blow up. And he goes, but Mainframe goes, that's okay. Don't worry. I know what I'm doing. Come over here. He sets down the toolbox.
Trust in the process and the coin flip.
Okay, and you come walking up to him, and I guess you turn to wherever the part where the faceplate on your chassis is, where they opened you up and stuck the bomb in. Mainframe puts down his large toolbox, and it opens it, and he opens up the lid. And I'm just going to say that Corey and Emmerich, you're close by, along with the First Minister. When he opens up the lid, you see laying inside there is a space tablet and a bunch of guns. And he looks up and he looks at you guys and he winks as he kneels down to start taking the players off for the bomb. And that's where we're going to end the episode.
I'm just going to rub my eyes like, Jesus Christ, my brain. Yeah.
It's good times.
Yeah, good times.
Oh, no.
Well, you kind of threw me a curveball there. Didn't go where I thought you guys were going to go, but that's okay.
I think it was a good point. It's the classic.
It still worked out. It's
good. Go with them.
Yeah, it's gravy, man. All right, everybody. I want to say thank you for tuning in and watching this episode of Sector 1, the stand-in show before we get back to Tales of a Savage Land. We'll be back with Sector 1 next week, and we are going to have Uncle Tony with us. Uncle Tony comes back from his play. He'll be playing in the which very well could be the last episode of Sector 1 will be next week. And then after that, we'll be going back to picking back up Tales of a Savage Land, which we're halfway done with that storyline after only being 33 episodes in on that. So, Grace, why don't you go ahead and say goodbye?
Well, I'm Grace. I played Emmerich tonight. Had a little bit of a change of heart but we'll see how it goes. I don't trust Devox being a human trying to get all these Artie's out of here. I don't trust that for a bit, but I do think they should have the choice to leave.
Humans on Earth are different than humans outside in the rest of the sector.
I know, but still.
Excuse me.
Yeah, don't be trying to explain nothing.
I'm not now. All right, Jonathan, go ahead and sign off, my man.
Hello, my name is Jonathan, and I realize it's easy to do the shitty accent if I've had a beer, so that's what I'm going with. Today's accent is brought to you by The Beauty of Forgetting by Cosmic Eye Druids. And I love it because I've always said one of the greatest, not abilities, special powers of human race is the ability to forget things. Because I think it's super important to be able to forget like the bad stuff.
Yeah.
And what's it called? Embarrassing moments. I mean, granted, they come back. Like, imagine if you're constantly aware of everything you've ever done. It's horrible. So, yeah.
You've obviously never been married, have you, Jonathan?
No. What are you talking about? It's good to forget.
You get somebody who's going to help you remember all those.
I guess. But I'll let you know.
I'm just kidding.
Figure it out.
Yours is great.
Sure it is. Okay. Cool.
I jest. All right.
Do you have an opinion on that one?
Nope.
Well, I couldn't tell whether you maybe had an opinion or feelings wrapped up in.
Hey, okay. All kidding aside, there's an old joke, and I figured out the one common denominator between all the crazy bitches I've ever been with. Me.
There you go.
Obviously, I don't like the nice ones.
Jeez. Oh, God.
It's a joke, people. It's a joke. Don't get upset if you're getting upset. All right. Last but not least, we have Dylan.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Dylan. I play Helix tonight. You guys can go. I mean, I don't know. I'm probably most active on Twitter these days. I'm working on some stuff that should be going up in the next couple of weeks on YouTube. We'll see how long it takes me to get around to it. I'm finishing up my website right now, and then once that's done, it's back to creating content. So, and I'm doing some crafting and whatnot. Working on creating mock VHS cases. This one's
Dude,
one
that is awesome.
I want to send them out to. This one's not properly to scale. It was a test print, and I did one for this channel. Actually, they're located about 5 minutes. Their office is about 5 minutes from here. So I thought, what better place to start? I'm going to start making some of these and sending them off to YouTubers. So don't tell Tony. Hopefully, he's not watching them. I'm going to eventually do one of these for him too.
Dude, you should make actual VHSs. You can still buy them.
No, I will. Yeah, I've got about 20 of them in my closet waiting to be.
They're expensive as hell now, though.
But
really?
not if you buy them from the thrift store and all that. You can get.
That's true. If you buy old ones and just repurpose them, yeah.
Well, a lot of them are still wrapped. I find wrapped ones at the thrift store all the time.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
That's where I've gotten all mine from.
Yeah, that's smart. That's smart.
So I'm ready to put them into production, but and who knows? Maybe we'll you know what? Maybe we'll do a Tales of a Savage Land.
That would be balls nasty. So cool.
We'll do like the first episode or something, because I mean, you can only fit so much on a VHS. Right? But
that is awesome. Actually, I love that so much. It's not even funny. All right,
we'll post the actual VHS version of it. I'll copy it back onto the computer so people can actually watch it.
Right?
Make one and you can put it on the shelf behind you.
So cool. All right, everybody. I want to say thank you again for tuning in and watching. As far as other things that you can see on the Wicked Studios LLC channel on Twitch, we have Greyhawk Adventures, which is our Tuesday game, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We're on a little bit of it's not really a break. We're in between series right now. We just finished up. We didn't have one this week. We finished up the Into the Dreadwood series, was where we were doing the low fantasy gaming. The week prior to that, we will be having on the 15th. We will be doing a charity event where the cast that is in Greyhawk Adventures will be doing a 24-hour Greyhawk charity event where we are on between noon and 4 p.m., all proceeds going to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. Actually, below, if you're here on Twitch, there is a button you can press to take you right to the link to where you can actually even start donating now if you choose. And you do get put into the raffles for the prizes that they're giving away for the largest donors. So, but on the 25th of February, the brand new series for Greyhawk Adventures, our new long-term campaign, starts up. So that'll be February 25th. We are still have our Saturday morning superheroes, which is on Saturdays. It's at noon to 2. It will not be airing on the 15th, so it'll air this Saturday, but it won't air the Saturday after that because that's when we're playing the charity event. But it is normally every Saturday at noon Eastern Time, and there we play the classic Marvel superheroes role-playing game, the original Face Rip from TSR. And then, of course, we have every Wednesday here. Right now, we're doing the Sector 1 for the next couple of maybe a week or two. But this is our time slot for Tales of a Savage Land, where we play the Savage Worlds rule set in a fantasy world of my creation. So, where I guess we can, I think it's we can say now where the characters are, they're becoming gods, maybe? Demigods? We're not really sure.
Definitely on the right path.
Yeah, definitely on the right path. But
we are getting supernatural powers. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, you are getting supernatural powers and coming into contact with the supernatural powers, the Oshira and the elder spirits and gods of Ura, the world in which it's in. So, but anyway, we'll be going back to that sometime here in the near future. Maybe February we'll be back, but it's probably looking more like March because some people are going to be away at the end of February, right? I know Tony's going to LA.
Away first week of March. I'm gone.
So the first week of March. So maybe we'll have an episode at the end of February. Then we won't have an episode that first week of March, and then it'll pick back up. So either way, we're here on Wednesdays for the rest of this month at least. So there you go. So anyway, again, thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you for watching. We appreciate it as always. And we will talk to you all again soon. Peace out.